afternoon, everybody. I am your bee, Ancient Bee 78, as you can see. I'm going to do a little tutorial on Minecraft for anybody who is new and is interested. I'm going to start off today. I'm going to do a brand new world, of course. I'm going to do create new. And, of course, this will be a matter of choice for whoever is, of course, learning to play Minecraft. And in this case, I would suggest a creative world. So, of course, you would set that. My also other option would be to have it on peaceful for your first start. My other thing would be is also, if you go down here, you can see we'll select bonus chests, sort of things, and also to make sure that if you don't want any of these things, you can, of course, make sure that you have them turned off. We will also hit create here. We'll see also where we're going to be spawning. I would like to start with my first video being maybe a basic tutorial on some basic building skills. Some of you may be new, some of you may be more experienced. It's entirely up to you. I personally have played Minecraft now for a couple of years, so I have a lot of skills. Let's just get up here. As we can see, we got a nice little area here, a nice little biome. We're by some water. Maybe over here we got like a little area we could probably start with. I personally also like flatter areas such as this here. Maybe we could also check and see if we can find another area that is more preferable. It depends also on the size of build that you want to do. So if you're going to be a person who likes to do larger builds, that would be entirely up to you. But if you are a person who is just starting out, of course, like I say, the creative is always the first step that you want to take. Let's see here. See, right here. This is perfect. Small little island. That's perfect. We'll start here. We'll get rid of this block. And I'm going to give you my own basis of what I like to do when I first started doing Minecraft. So, like again, location, some will say villages, always a plus. Some say you can add like your own like trees, whatever you need to do, depending on the stuff you like to do. But if you're doing the very basics like I'm going to show you today, yes, this is going to be the best. So number one, we're going to open up, and you can see that number one, we have our main blocks. So depending on the colors you'd like to choose, I personally like to do the two tones, so I will do these two here. You could go through, again, like multiple different things. We're going to take some glass panes. So we'll take, how about this? We'll just do some standard. And I also like these mangrove trapdoors. This has actually been in the past, wasn't available. There's some new woods that they have added. So we're going to take that, and we're going to also take some cobblestone. So this is some of your basic tools for doing some of your basic builds. And also I like to do, of course, is fencing. So very basic. I'm not going to go into anything fancy for my first video, of course. And again, I like how there's water. So number one, you can see here we got some sugarcane growing. Perfect. So what some people like to do is they will generally clear out, as you can see, all this here. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a basic clean. And because we're in creative, this won't take very long. And I like to have like more of a flatter base to start on, because I find doing some builds in the beginning on something with a hill is a little more trickier, requires a little bit more of a building knowledge. But some will say like a basic start, like a dirt house, or maybe just a simple wood house. I'm going to give you a very basic house style without really going into too much on style. As you progress in the game, of course, you want to make sure that, you know, you just build according to what you want. This is just not going to be a very extensive house. I have had worlds where I have built like extensive builds on them. And also too is styles, of course. Oops. Of course, sorry about that. We'll just get some dirt here. Here. We'll put those in. This will on occasion happen too, but again, grass block, you're good to go. So when you have your basic area here, what I would suggest is number one, finding about where center is, and I would start from there, and then you could build around that. So for first, we're going to use is our cobblestone. So we're going to make it pretty simple, and we're going to make kind of like a semi-square shape. Yeah, we're going to not make it too big because number one, it is some people's first time, so we don't want to make it where it's too extensive of a build where it might get confusing. How much is what? So here we go, pretty squared off, and maybe not that even. Find about where it is, where you want to put your location. I'm going to go right about here. Now, so when you start off, yes, you would start with something like this. Some will say putting a platform is better, but if this is your first time, yes, this is the fastest and easiest way. Another thing you can do is you could also break down one down, and also too is add in some of these as your flooring. Now, this will also again depend on your style, your preference. Some will even say like granite would be a nice one. Some say some of the other new ores that were added in other additions, basically, are much more nicer. But I'm just, again, like I was saying, giving you a very basic tutorial on a basic build. So you can always check on other YouTube channels, and they could give you more of like a build style, something of your choice. So here I am, just going to finish that up quickly. Pop that in. Okay, we're done. So I'm going to go up on here. We're going to fly, and you can see, very basic. It's done. So one other thing I'd like to do is kind of give, again, something else that you would want to do. So again, you may want to go look inside and check out, like you see, there's different trees, different lights. So one other thing I'd like to do is I'd like to look for some of the other stuff. You can see here, like I like preferably myself like the barrel style. And also too, you can see there is different door styles. But because I'm going with the mangrove right here, I'm going to go with the mangrove door. And it is a very nice door indeed. So when you come up in the front of your build, like right here, we'll center up right here, take out our door, and pop. And you can see that is very nice right there. So I like to kind of vary my builds, but I'm going to give you some ideas that I preferably like. So what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, good. Again, 1, 2, 3, and then you start building out such something like this. So kind of like everything, everybody will have their style as they get more progressed. 2, 3, and you do that. But you know, everybody's going to say something a little bit different. But as for your walls, it will depend on if you want more windows, less windows, so on and so forth. You can see double, so that's good. And what I'm going to do is 1, 2, 3, and continue my side right here. All right, and 1, 2, 3, and again, you continue this. Basically, depending on the size, you can even vary your style too. So you don't have to actually make it into this particular square. You can actually add in anything from extensions here to, just like I say, anything you feel like you want. So I like to add like a little bit of an edge, because once you put your panes in, you'll see what I mean. That will also make a big difference on how the style is for yourself. I'm going to have like a small thing where I'm going to put some nice little things. You know, you want to keep it nice and varied. And it will kind of give it something like this. That's good. Now next we're going to fill off with our glass. 1, 2, 1, 2. And here I'm going to do a very basic design. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's for those middle ones. Fill it in. Yeah, very basic, like I say. It will have like whatever you need. So basically, in survival, it was really good when you get more into like just basic hardcore, whatever you were going to be doing later on. You want to have a base that is secure for you. But I like when you're near the water, because the chances of like mobs besides drowns and some other mobs like that, there's no chance of really having like too many zombies or anything like that, which is part of the game. So I'm going to keep it like this, and then in the back, I'm going to keep it very, very simple, like this, and then I'm going to fill it in. There we go. As you can see, very basic, very nice, and I prefer it like this. So now that I got that, some will say if you like, you know, to add a little bit more texture, some suggest like maybe something like this. Kind of like have it where, you know, kind of looks like some shutters or something like that. So I'm just going to kind of give you for that. And you can see, you know, it's not that bad. It actually gives you the kind of like that little thing where it's around your windows. It's up to you if you want to continue that around the rest of your house, but I'm just going to give you a very basic front look right here. So we're going to go with that. And when it comes to up in this area here, I'm going to show you some of the woods and stuff like that I preferably like. So in here, I also got some deep split tiles. Now you can choose. There's so many different varieties of things. But the deep slate tiles I find makes the best type of roofing. So we're going to take this and we're going to select this. Some of the times it'll depend if you want to do a very basic roof, if you want to do something with a bit of a slope. I'm just going to do you a small little idea that I like preferably doing when I'm making very simplistic builds on my side. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to come up, and I need to put one out as such. And then I just find it gives it a little bit more style, but it's not like overly sophisticated. And then like this video will only just give you, we're going to touch in is just getting the build set. And on my next video, I am going to show you how to do maybe some basic farming, and maybe eventually maybe make another world roof possibly, and even make something even more extensive. So when we keep it very simple, that makes it much more nicer. And plus, you know, when you're down by the water, you can do many things like fishing and so on and so forth. I'm going to go up here, and I'm just going to quickly just finish this off so that way everybody has a very basic idea. Also, too, just letting you know, depending on who is starting out on Minecraft, I myself am a mother, and I have actually really enjoyed Minecraft as a pastime, actually. And I do a lot of builds, especially on other worlds. I won't go too much into what the worlds are and who they're with, but like that is another option too. You might know somebody who might have one, and they might invite you. So when you get into stuff like that later on, I will get into showing you some of the other things I have actually built on these different worlds that I am joined with. And I'm also going to show you how to do some very creative little things that I liked to do, and a lot of it in the buildings that I've actually done over the years. And also too is maybe even getting into more of the like personal side of it, of like maybe PvPing, but which I'm not, unfortunately, not good at. But you know, with time, I'm hoping like to improve, because I know I've been asked a few times by people, will you like to do some PvP? So as you can see here, it is now just taking like a nice little style, very, very basic. I know it may seem a little too much, but you know, I personally myself, this is a very standard house that I like to do when going simple, because sometimes you may just have a world where you're just going to keep it very basic, and as you can see, that is so nice. So now when it comes down to lighting, now you're going to have a lot of options. So number one, we have like here, we have some shroom lights. Everybody may be different on that one. You can look around here, we got some frog lights. And also too, if you look through it, there's so many different variations. Some of the ones I preferably like is the lantern. It is a very simple, but very nice attachment for that you put into your builds. And just a very one, and if you come down a little bit, maybe put some along the front. Let's just go like this. There we go. And light up the front. So now, if there's any other mobs, maybe just generally for lights, for whatever, just to see. Yes, this is nice. And you can see we could add a couple around. That'd be nice. There we go. So when you're making your home, you want to make it like effective for you. So number one, inside, you just want to put a couple in. There you go. Basic lighting, which you can close your door, and you can see it is open. It's nice. So one of the few things is you can see here, we got some smokers, we got some blast furnaces, and we got some regular furnaces. When you're first starting, I would just say stick with the furnace because it's a very simple thing that you can see, very basic. And also too, another thing that is also good to have is a crafting table, which is also made from 4 planks. So you can put it wherever you feel comfortable with. I just like to put it in the corner, that way it's out of the way, but also stuff like that. And when it comes to storage, you may want to start with the basic chest, which is again 6 planks. I will go into videos about that, and you just double them out, or you can put them in single. It's all about what you want to do. And when you're in your world, say if you just began, you want to make sure you have a bed. So here we have different color beds. The standard, of course, is white, which I will get into different colors, different styles, because you need different texture packs. But this is very basic, and boom, done. Now, when you have this, you will want to sit, and you will respawn here when you die, if you do die, like I was just saying. And it keeps you in this general area. And if you are going to be traveling, let's just say, and if any time, then yes, you want to make sure that, you have a place. But always make sure, depending where you're going to be going or whatever you're going to be doing, make sure you always have a bed with you because it's important if you don't want to be coming back to your spawn point. And when it comes to now with food, everybody's going to be different. Some say make sure you check for sheep or whatever. But my suggestion is to start a very basic farm. And to do that, we're going to need a hoe. So going in here, we're going to go over here, and we're just going to select let's just say an iron hoe. That'd be fine. Now, next, what we're going to need is, well, we are near some water, but for the sake of this, we're going to say a water bucket, which is basically 3 iron, and basically you could get something like this, as you can see here. And then you would go, of course, down here, where the water source or your nearest water source is. And this is very simple. Just tap your water, boom, done. So you got your water right here. Now, I have a very large area, as you could tell, but because it's very simple, you just want to keep it. Now, you don't need a large farm when you're first starting, so it's just basically 1 block, and then when you're taking your hoe, just kind of like pound the earth by just hitting it with your hoe like such. So you can see, very basic. And you can already tell it's already hydrating right here, which is good, because you want to make sure that the ground is, of course, wet. So when you're planting, you don't want to do any planting until these are pretty much this color right here. This means that there's no hydration yet, and it could take anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the size of area you're going to go with. Sometimes, depending on the size as well, it may take us anywhere up to 5 to 10, but this is a very, very, like I said, very, very basic garden area. Let's just leave it as such. Now, while we wait for this to hydrate, we're going to talk a little bit more about the seeds, of course. And that can, of course, be found on your sidebar right here. And you'll see these little things, these little dots. Simply select, and you could tell there's a variety of seeds. This one is beetroot. This one is melon. This one is pumpkin. But the very basic you could get is standard seeds. So you, again, set it, and you can put it over here. And you can see where it started. Now, you can pre-plant most of this, and it should hydrate on its own. And just to do that, again, tap. And it's very, very basic. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, oops, sorry about that. That can happen on occasion, depending on how fast you're going. I'm a little bit fast because I'm used to building like this. And boom, done. And you can already tell most of these seeds will be hydrated. Now, as for grow time, it would be approximately two Minecraft days, if I'm correct, depending on what you're planting. Now, standard seeds, which will grow, standard wheat will be, yes, again, about 1-2 days. I do believe carrots are 1 day, if I am correct, which is a little bit faster. But wheat is more of a plentiful source because, again, you can always just go to any patch of grass, which you don't have down here right now. I can even show you a very simple way if you don't have seeds from anything. They say if you're on survival, for instance, you would get seeds from the ground. So we're just going to get some bone meal just to give you an idea of what I mean by that. So we're just going to tap. Again, we'll make this a little prettier. And you can see bone meal is a very essential thing in Minecraft when you're coming to planting stuff because, number one, it's good for plants. And I will show you if you tap on an item, like for instance these seeds, as you can see, it automatically grew the item. So you could do that and you can make it grow a little bit faster, you know. And that's one fast way to do it. Sometimes you might need to get up a little closer and missed a few areas. Sorry about that to all those who are a little more experienced. Happens to the best of us. So you can see, number one, there we have our fully grown wheat. So this is also a good food source. It makes bread. It makes a few things. If you have animals like sheep and cows, they will also come when holding the wheat in your offhand. So we're gonna just put this away. We're gonna make a little space right here, and hopefully the wheat will go into it. Let's see. No. Okay, what we're going to do is we're just going to get some wheat just to give you an idea. Let's see. Yes, right here. And we're going to stick that right there. Just to pretend we've actually done that. And you can see I have wheat. Now, we're going to go back inside the house. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a runoff on this. And we're going to go to this. This is our crafting table. Simply tap, and you have it open. Now, when you're in a survival situation, you're going to have a very limited. This right now, I have access to all things. But one of the few things you can make with wheat is, of course, bread. And that is something that you could do. And that, again, is 3 wheat. Now, I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how that will look in survival. So, again, we're going to go here. We're going to go to settings. Down here, and we're just going to go to a very basic survival. So just to have you an idea. So now when you're going in here, you should be able to see, there we go. Simply 3 wheat will equal you to 1 bread. Right now with 48 wheat will equal to 21. Just simply click and it will put it into your hotbar, as you can see here. And this is a great food source. It's very basic, it's simple, and it will get you by. Other food sources are, of course, a little bit more nicer. They may get you over a longer distance, depending if you like to travel, which I do a lot. So when you're coming down, as I was saying before about the seeds, you would actually just simply sit here and tap. Oops, sorry about that. Let's do something. We just had to open up, and you just simply tap the ground. It may take a little bit, but sometimes on occasion it will drop seeds, and it might take a while. Depends. There we go. We have a seed, so we're going to go back in here. And we'll just pretend that never happened. There we go. And from just doing that, there we go. We have 2 full seeds from just tapping grass. Very simple. Very easy. And again, it's like anything. You just tap it on the ground in your little garden area. Boom, boom, done. Now, to achieve the bone meal, of course, is going to be a little bit different. That is in a survival situation, which I am in, but again, it is in peaceful, so no skeletons, which you can only achieve it through, will spawn. So when you have the skeletons, you're going to need the very basics. You're going to need, of course, wood, and also stone, depending on the type of tools. So I like the very basics when I'm going into a world, checking for, say, trees, which is, of course, over here. And also, is how far is it going to be from my base, which is, of course, on this little line, as you can see here. And it's very easy, very, very basic. And I'm going to show you a very easy way, because some people don't know when you're first starting. How do I travel? Boat is usually one that most people will tell you to start with. But if you don't have a boat, what I suggest is just standard swimming, which is you go in. Of course, I'm a little too far shore. Just come down a little bit, and then you double tap, and boom, you're swimming, as you can see here. So we're just going to take a little trip, and we're going to go over to one of these islands, and just to give you a very quick tutorial on basic wood gathering. And then during my next video, I will go into more about mining. Sorry about that. And maybe we'll show you, maybe with a bit of a survival of what mobs you might encounter when you're doing these. And that's why I actually like being in a peaceful, because number one, you don't have that issue and you have no problems. So depending on your style of tree, this here, this one's birch, this one's oak, and it's all about, again, style, choice, whatever. So we're just going to go and just simply hit it, hold the thing, and boom. Very simple. 1, 2, 3. And over here, I'm going to show you a very simple mob, and it is passive, which means it's not going to hurt you, is the sea turtle. Oh, you can see here he likes me. He's super friendly. That on another time, I will show you actually how to tame a turtle. It may not follow you. You may want to like make a pen if you want to keep one as your pet, but they have their own use. And we're just going to shoot this little guy in the water here. Come on. Come on, buddy. Back in the water. Free the turtles, everybody. There we go. Another thing is, oh, we can see we got a cow over here. Now, what we're going to do is, if I had any type of oh, did he just go at your butt? Okay, sorry about that. Is they can also follow you with your weight. Now, of course, it would take 2 adult cows, which is like this, to make 1 baby, which very oddly has disappeared. Maybe we could find this little guy. Don't ask why this turtle's on a tree. Okay, well, anyways. Oh, well, there we go. He was hiding. There we go. That, of course, is a baby cow. Of course, he's quite adorable and very, very scared of me right now. He's like running away on his mommy. And it is also, like I say, very passive. I don't see any sheep, so that would be another different day. But I just wanted to give you a very simple, speaking of dinner, we have our little chicken here. But that, it will require, of course, weapons, which I will get into later. I just wanted to give you a very basic idea on build. And hopefully, if I get some likes on this video, maybe work with maybe expansion, maybe moving it into this location, or even finding something even bigger. And then hopefully later on, maybe get into a much larger build, maybe build a city together, maybe get some ideas on that. If you'd like to see that, please do let me know. And also too, later on, I will show you how we can maybe breed these guys. Here, we'll just give me a little pet. There we go. And I'll show you how to make a turtle helmet. And that, of course, is going to take a bunch of waiting, because, of course, they have to lay their eggs, like in real life, and also too, they need to sit in the sand or wherever enclosure area you're going to do. The sand is preferably the best because it's kind of standard to real life. They would always bury themselves in the sand and actually lay their eggs into that. So it is very cool. You got a kind of a glimpse of some of the basic animals. And later on, I will also be showing you some different mod textures that you could take and maybe work with some other things. I wonder if we can actually just like show you how easy it is to tame those animals. See, look at this. Watch this. Come here. Come here. Come here. See? This little guy is like he's owing to me right now. Come here. Come here, come here, come here. Okay, good boy. And you just simply sit there, feed. And you can see he loves you. So anyways, I'm going to leave that like that for today. Sorry, he was right there in front of my face. And I'm going to leave that for today. And I'm going to leave this chicken with the chicken love for you. And I hope I gave you a very basic idea of a very simple build. And a very basic what you could do to kind of get yourself started. I would just say recommend a very standard Creative World. Work with that for a little while, which we're going to be doing together. Right now, yes, I'm in a survival situation, which is actually on peaceful, so there's no chance of damage, no chance of hunger. And I'm going to get into some other things. Oh, I'm still holding these here. And I'm going to show you some other fancy little things that I like to personally do in any of my worlds that I like to join. So I'm going to leave this off with a beautiful, peaceful sunset. And I hope you all have a wonderful